back to my channel, Dream Budgets. Today we have a slightly different video for you all. We have finally my Q&A video that I have been looking forward to making. And I actually was trying to go live on YouTube, but I didn't know that you have to access it 24 hours before so that it gets activated. So I really wanted to do the live Q&A, but it's okay. We can just record this video and then I'll try to upload it as fast as I can. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to go ahead and do what's called a victory box. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the victory box, essentially what you do is you just decorate anything really that you have at your house. And throughout the week, you can go ahead, or really throughout any time, you can go ahead and write down something that you consider a victory, small or big. You put it in your little container, and then you can use it at the end of each week. You know, I personally use this whenever I am not feeling motivated and just really just stressed out. I go into my little victory box and I pull out one of the victories just to kind of uplift my spirit a little bit. And I actually learned this from one of my classes. We took play therapy. The play therapy class was specific to children and adolescents. However, I feel like you can do this with any age. As an adult now, I definitely really enjoy the arts and craft aspect of it because you get to kind of play around. So I thought this would be just a really fun way of kind of doing something unique and then also answering some of your questions. So let's just look at this really quick. We have our box that I got at Hobby Lobby, and we're going to go ahead and be decorating that with these supplies over here. I got double tape. I don't know if I should get glue. I do have glue, but I know sometimes it gets a little bumpy. So I just got double tape. I got scissors. And then I got these really cute stickers. I like daisies. I like green, and I love polka dots. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on this little box, and then we can put our name on it. So I thought that would be really fun. And I got this little bee. I'm usually a big fan of butterflies. I know you guys see it on my intros all the time. It just has a really big significance for me. It's very symbolic. And they didn't have any butterflies, but they had this really cute bee. So I figured this was really pretty. And it has like a hint of green glitter. So I really like that. And then we have a few sheets. So we'll go ahead and do this as we are answering some of our questions here. And I broke it down into the past, the present, and the future. And these are just based on questions about like my childhood growing up or previous experiences, currently what I'm doing, and then the future, the goals that I might have for 2022. I haven't really thought much about these questions, so I might stumble a little bit, so just bear with me. But let's go ahead and get started with the past. And the past has the first questions, which I thought was a very good introduction into what we are currently going to be discussing. And the first question here is going to be by Sasha. And Sasha is a recent subscriber. So hey, Sasha, I'm so happy that you're here. And she just wanted to know more about, you know, where I came from, where I'm currently living, if I have kids or pets. Was it hard budgeting when I first started? So those are all really great questions. So let's start from the beginning. I was born in Mexico. And I actually came to the United States when I want to say I was 5 or so. Yeah, I was 5 or 6. And so, of course, I came with my mom and my brothers. And growing up, I lived in a single parent household. So my mom was a single mom. So that's a little bit about my childhood. Where I'm currently living now is in California. So I am in California currently. I've always lived here, haven't moved. I don't know if I'll ever move, but so far so good. And let's see what else. Oh, I don't have any kids, but we do have fur babies in the house. We have a total of 3 doggies. We have 2 German Shepherds, and then we have Lola, who is a mix of a poodle and a Chihuahua, but she kind of looks like a golden retriever. I'm going to try to find pictures and then just put them up here. So I guess still within the context of my childhood or growing up, we can talk about my education or my pathway to where I'm at currently. So growing up, I always knew that I wanted to be in counseling, and I went to community college, and then I transferred to a Cal State, and that took me about, I don't know, like 4 years, which was a long time, but of course I was working throughout that whole time, so I was a part-time student, which makes it a little harder. And then after I finished the community college, I went to Cal State here in California. And so after we did the Cal State, I went ahead and applied for my graduate school. And, you know, I kind of wanted to say that 2020 was a real, I don't know how to explain it. It was a very hard time for a lot of people, myself included. And it was also the year that I got a lot of my blessings. I graduated my undergrad in 2020. And in that same year, I got accepted to my dream program that I was applying to. And I also got promoted in 2020. And it was a very weird kind of series of events, just because I was really financially stressed because of the pandemic. My mom did lose her job, and so finances were a little tight, and I was kind of freaking out because I was thinking, how am I going to pay for graduate school? I don't want to have a loan. So I was really contemplating leaving my job and looking for another one. But again, at that time, a lot of places were not hiring. I think a lot of this I have to thank God, because it was just very, very difficult. And out of nowhere, I just felt like I was being blessed in a lot of ways. And I was just very, very grateful. Growing up, I would definitely consider myself low income. And honestly, it wasn't until the year of 2020 when my finances significantly changed, because I was no longer making the low minimum wage that I had made throughout my whole life, but I was now starting to get, I think my pay doubled, which is crazy to think about, because I'm like, what? I've never made this much money. Yeah, that's just a little bit about kind of where I'm at now. Oh, I forgot, Bunny's Budget. So Bunny's Budget did ask if I speak another language besides English. Yes, I do speak Spanish. You know, funny enough, I took German when I was in high school for 3 years. Do I remember anything? Absolutely not. So of course I know Spanish. I like to call it Spanglish for all of my Hispanic folks out there. I just tend to mix a lot of the English and Spanish together when I speak with my family. Yeah, that's a little bit about my childhood and just kind of growing up. Let's move on to the present, and I'm going to start with these top questions here of Davina. She asked, what got you into budgeting? And that's kind of similar to some of the other questions that I got. Budgets by Jada. She asked, how long have you been budgeting? Crystal, or Budget by the Bag, she asked, what made you start cash stuffing? And what has been the hardest thing in this process? And then Shelly, or Budget with Shelly, she went ahead and asked, who is the most relatable YouTube budgeter for your journey, or is there a budgeter that you enjoy watching the most? So the first video I ever watched with this envelope system was Pink X Budgets, and she was recommended by YouTube. And of course, once I watched her, I binge watched all her videos. And I just thought it was truly amazing how somebody could save up that much money with just doing this system. So I had already been budgeting in my own way. What I used to do prior to finding the community was each paycheck I would remove a certain amount of quantity for, you know, rent, utilities, all of that. However, the area that I was really missing on was my spending, my overall spending. And I was wondering, how is it that I have, you know, $400 worth of credit card expense? How did I kind of go wrong in that? So through the budgeting system, I am able to kind of keep track of everything that I spend. Every single dollar is accounted for, because I make sure that I allocate that fund to a specific category. So that's kind of really how it started. So I started budgeting in July with this cash envelope system, and then I went ahead and I posted my first video, I believe in August, once I came back from Hawaii. And I was just really inspired by all of the videos that I was watching. And I thought, why not? I mean, it's a great way to document your journey and just kind of share your story and little tips and tricks that you have. So I started my YouTube channel, and I have to say that it has been probably one of the best things I've done so far in this year, and the community is absolutely amazing. Everyone is so welcoming, and I remember being really nervous about the comments that I was gonna get. What if nobody liked it? Nobody watched it? And right off the bat, I remember I got several comments, and some from my fellow budgeters here, and everybody was so welcoming, and I just I think I cried a little bit. That's one of the things you should know about me. I'm most definitely 100% a crier. Every time there's a really sad scene or a very, like, I don't know, emotional scene on movies, I will be that person that cries. So I remember just being really overwhelmed with joy that people were being really kind and receptive of my video, and that just kind of encourages you. So that's kind of how it started. I would say Budget by the Bag, Crystal, she asked also, what has been the hardest thing in the process? Honestly, for me, it's just kind of trying to find a balance of numbers, because every month it kind of varies. Some months I have, I don't necessarily have fixed expenses all the time, except for rent. But it also just varies, especially with all the prices kind of going up. I think it's just a constant going back and forth and seeing, okay, what numbers make sense for this month. So I think I wouldn't say it's hard. It's just, it's challenging sometimes, especially with breaking bad habits like eating out. That has been a big thing for me, which I think it has gotten better, but definitely trying to find areas where I can cut back on. And I guess just to finish answering Shelly's question of who is most relatable or the one that I enjoy watching the most, I would have to say that every single channel I see out here is very unique. And yes, we're all doing the budgeting system, of course, but we all have different takes on it. We all kind of do our own little twist. Honestly, everyone has such unique personalities. I know it's going to be a cliche answer, but I honestly, truly do enjoy watching every single channel that I come across. Everyone's so different. So that's what I also really enjoy about this community, that while we all might be doing the same thing, everyone has their own story, their own things that they share. Okay, so I think we've run into a problem up here. I'm going to go ahead and try to resolve this, and then I'll be right back because I need to concentrate in this section, and we'll be back with Lay's questions. But let's go ahead and move on to the next questions because we're running out of sunlight here. And then we'll decorate it as we go. But the other questions that I have here from Lay Budgets are, what are the financial decisions that you regret and will never repeat again? Congratulations. How do you handle financial burnout, or have you experienced it? So I did experience financial burnout, I would say in 2020, when I just wasn't sure about a lot of my finances, and I was constantly worried about, where everything would come from. I don't know that I have the best advice for it. I honestly just took it day by day, and I kind of tried my best to plan ahead and not get in that mindset of constantly being worried, but it's really difficult because, as we all know, finances play a big role. And then the other question about the financial decisions that you regret and will never repeat, I know that one, and I know that one for a fact is going to be looking at contracts, because I've done that multiple times, and it's always kind of just came back and been a big hectic thing for me. I was not very familiar with interest and how it worked when it came to car loans. So for the first 2 years of my car loan, I actually was paying interest only, and I did not know that. And so I think my car payments were about $400, and basically half, if not more than half, was going towards the interest, and the rest was going towards my actual principal, or the actual amount that was given to me. So far, that has been my biggest financial lesson. So I hope that answers that. And then the next questions are from Lauren or Ren Katz and Judy or Judy Speaks Dinero. And they both asked hobbies. So Judy asked any favorite hobbies that maybe you haven't previously shared with us. And Lauren asked, my question is, what is your favorite hobby? So honestly, you guys are going to think I'm very boring, but I don't necessarily have a favorite hobby. A lot of my time just goes to doing homework and going to work. I would say maybe prior to me having no life, it definitely was hiking. Current hobby is definitely YouTube, and prior to that, maybe hiking and just honestly just spending time with my loved ones. That's gonna be the best thing. Ooh, okay. So Anna period Aguilar 13, she asks, what is your favorite show? And I get into shows and then I just quickly binge watch through them and then I finish them. So the last show I binge watched was You. It's on Netflix and it's really interesting. I really enjoy the classics like The Office. I like Friends. Anything comedy I'm really into. So I haven't found a show recently, but if you all have recommendations, definitely leave those. I tend to go back and look at shows once I finish my semester because they are very time consuming. And then Davina asked another question. She asked, what is my favorite food? And of course I'm Mexican, so I love Mexican food. But honestly, I am so open to any sorts of food. I don't really have like a specific favorite food. I think it just feels really homey to have Mexican food, but I'm really open to anything. So yeah, I think my favorite dish is anything like soup related. So miso soup, pho, noodles, ramen, caldo de pollo or chicken soup. I am so for that. So that is my favorite dish, soups. All right, so for the future questions, they kind of all ask a similar question of what are the goals I have for 2022? That's from Davina. And then also Ruby Trujillo, she asked my financial goals for 2022. And then Budgeting April, she asked, do you plan on changing anything up in the upcoming year? I haven't looked at each one individually, but I know for financial goals of 2022, I just want to make sure I have enough money saved up for my practicum. I've said that many times, and that's why I'm doing the 100 envelope challenge and just kind of doubling it up, because I want to just have enough money saved up for school. So that's probably my biggest financial goal at the moment, just saving close to 10 to 15,000 next year. So I'm hoping I can reach that. General goals for 2022. I mean, there's like the common ones, you know, getting my fitness back on, doing more self-care, some personal goals. I haven't decided yet, but I think those are the ones that I can think of. Going into April's question of changing things up in 2022. As far as my YouTube channel, I'm hoping I could maybe start uploading a little bit more, maybe in the summer once I finish my last kind of busy semester. And as far as my personal life, I think maybe just trying to carve out more of self-care routines for myself, and kind of ties in with just making sure that I'm being aware of my physical health. So that's kind of what I want to do for next year. Oh my gosh, this box looks so cute. And I think that's all the questions we have. I hope that I did answer a lot of the ones that you were interested in. I know I haven't shared my full name yet with you all, but I did want to just kind of share my nickname. It just feels a little impersonal sometimes that you guys don't know at least what to call me by. So, I mean, Dream Budgets is fine. I don't mind it, whatever you're comfortable calling me, but I also go by V. So quickly just want to write a victory that I had this week. All right, guys, so the victory that I want to share is I spent quality time with my family, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in my victory box. Again, the victory is whatever you think is a victory. It doesn't have to be something specific. It's really tailored to you. And then whenever I'm not feeling great or unmotivated, I will go ahead and open my victory box up and just kind of pull out something that will hopefully remind me and cheer me up. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if it was too lengthy and just kind of all over the place. It's my first one. I'm kind of bummed that I couldn't do the live, but I will try again and we will definitely do a live sometime in the future. Again, I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. Have a great week and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.